I'm author and critic David Agranoff. I'm a horror and science fiction author, critic, and researcher. In this podcast, I wanted to provide in-depth interviews and panel discussions with everyone from New York Times bestselling authors to researchers, musicians, and anyone I find interesting. Welcome to Postcards from a Dying World. Hello and welcome to another special episode of Postcards from a Dying World. This is the fourth-ish Best Movies podcast. Issa and I have been doing this for 4 years, but as a team, the three of us have been doing it for 3 since Anthony said, yo, you need me on that show. So it's true. He did do that. And he was right. We're all better off for it. So here's the thing. We're going to count down our movies here in a minute, but I do have a couple announcements I want to make. I am recording soon a podcast talking about all the different anthologies I had stories in this year. And I'm going to do a little bit of reading from them and previewing them. So that'll be next on the podcast. And then pretty soon after that, we'll be doing the next episode of the Science Fiction Hall of Fame, which will be CM Kornbluth's The Little Black Box. So get your reading going if you want to be ahead of the curve on that one. And and so another thing that's coming up is next August, I am organizing the Philip K. Dick Film Festival, the Philip K. Dick Festival in with a bunch of friends in Cal State Fullerton. So, and Anthony's going to be there too, because we will be doing a reading with a full cast of our TV pilot script for the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldridge, which will only happen probably one time ever. So you got to be there. So start making your plans to be there, because the fest is going to be awesome. It's going to be 3 days of science fiction nerdery. And we're gonna also, so far the guests of honor are Sarah Langan and Brian Evanson, and Tim Powers will be there as well. So it's gonna be a fantastic time. So we'll see you there. All right, so let's start our movie discussion. Now, we said this is a weird year for movies. This is a weird year for movies, not just for us, but it's a weird year for movies because movies did terrible at the box office. And the industry is kind of also in flux because we are in the kind of aftermath of the writers and SAG-AFTRA strike. So it's a weird position. And I believe the month of October was the worst month for movie-going ticket sales, like in the history of basically movies, even worse than like outside of COVID, when the theaters were shut down completely. So it's a real rough and weird time for movies. I know, me personally, I was super busy this year, and I just did not get to the theater a ton for movies. So I didn't see a ton of movies in theaters, but Issa, you always get to the theater a lot, and Anthony,
Well,
you're a big theater person. So
this year, somehow I saw less movies than usual. I don't know why that is exactly. Partially me being busy, and partially just there were less movies to see, it felt like.
yeah.
Whatever. We'll get into the list.
Yeah,
Same. I didn't see nearly as many movies in theaters as they did, but I also moved, so that has taken up more of my time.
Right. So there are 2 movies I want to mention real quickly because they came out in 2024, so I don't think they fit. But they might have been released here in theaters.
In fact, I would say they break the only criteria for this list.
And that's why I'm not going to talk about them in depth, but I just wanted to shout out that they were really good movies I watched this year, which is there's a Japanese samurai movie called 11 Rebels. And I mean, I think it's older because it's already on Tubi, which is a sign that, and then there's a science fiction sci-fi film with Elizabeth Olsen called The Assessment. Did either of you see The Assessment?
No, I kept hearing about that, but I don't remember it being in the theaters ever.
if it had been technically released this year, it would have been very high on my list. It's a really cool kind of Dickian movie, Phil Dickian movie, and cli-fi and great world building. It has really fantastic world building, but it's one of those sci-fi movies where they had like no budget and they like it's a really cool exercise in trying to do things without a budget. So I just wanted to shout out those two movies before we get into. Let's talk about our disappointments. Now, some of these disappointments might be on someone else's best of list. And if they are, we'll talk about them when we get to them. But does anyone want to go first in disappointments, or should I start?
I
I'll
can
go
go first.
Okay, well, I talked
Go ahead,
first, so
Issa.
I'll go first
Yeah,
with
go
an
ahead.
obvious one. This one, I have a few disappointments this year, but this one I know is on David's list, or probably, so we will not talk about it right now. But Begonia, I thought it was really good, but could have been great, and that was disappointing to me.
Yeah, a Begonia is on my list, so we
Yeah,
will.
It's also on my
I
list.
figured. I saw your Facebook post about it, so I was like, "Damn, that's going to be on his list for sure."
Well, I have a movie on my disappointments list because for the same reason that it could have been better. I have one of those on mine where it was almost amazing and I just thought overhyped. But we'll get to that in a minute. Is that the only one you had, Issa, that you wanted to mention?
Oh no, I have so many. So I felt like this year was more nostalgia than most years. Like maybe that's just wrong, but there were so many nostalgia movies. And the bad ones were I Know What You Did Last Summer, Freaky or Friday, and Tron Ares. And Tron Ares was especially bad. It was just the soundtrack was really good. We mentioned that earlier before we started recording, but the movie was just not good for no reason. It could have been a great movie. It just wasn't at all.
Yeah, I saw the first half an hour literally last night, and for me, it's just the plot was just wonky and weird, and
Yeah.
like the whole idea of programs being in the real world is just kind of dumb, and I don't know where to go from with that, but yeah, but the soundtrack was cool, and
Yeah.
just like the Tron Legacy, where I continue to listen to the soundtrack, even though I would never watch the movie.
Totally.
That may be the case with Ares.
And then I have one more that isn't really a disappointment. It's more like I'm disappointed in myself for seeing it, and you all will be too. But there was a movie called Bone Lake, which was supposed to be a horror movie about a couple. It was the same plot as another movie, and I can't remember what movie it was the same plot as, but a couple. I'm not spoiling this for everyone, for anyone. No one should see this. But a couple goes to an Airbnb, and another couple is booked at the same time by mistake, and it turns out that that other couple are murderers and have set them up. And man, it's a bad movie. Like it's not even good for a movie called Bone Lake. Like it was just really bad. I'm embarrassed that I saw it, and that's my word. Definitely dumbest movie of 2025.
Anthony.
I have not seen Bone Lake, but I do have my little hater list all ready to go. As we're no shocking nobody. So, I'm just gonna go. These are in no particular order. But George A. Romero's Resident Evil was one of the worst documentaries I've seen in a long time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. George Romero was originally supposed to direct the first Resident Evil adaptation of the video game franchise. And they made a documentary about it that came out, which really has nothing to do with the like George A. Romero's vision for that adaptation. It does. At first, it starts talking about like the history of like Capcom and the game, and then it's just a George Romero documentary. Like it has nothing to do with what he wanted to do as far as making that movie for the most part. And I was so irritated and so frustrated. It's one of the worst documentaries I've seen in a hot minute. I'm assuming neither of you saw that one.
No,
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't.
even know it existed.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
I
Next
read
is
the Pay the Piper this year, the George Romero unfinished novel that Daniel Krauss finished. But
how was it?
it was important. but
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
like
it's important that it comes out.
I loved The Living Dead, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that was really good.
Next is Lee Whannell's Wolfman, which felt like half a script and half a movie. Did you guys see it?
No.
No, that was one I meant to see but forgot to. I
Terrible.
didn't
You
get
can
to
skip
see
it. Terrible.
Okay, I will.
Skip it. Love Hurts, abysmal. Do you guys see Love Hurts?
No.
Love Hurts. Wait, what?
It's got
what's
the
Love
guy.
Hurts?
I can't remember his name. He's the kid in Temple of Doom. He was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
did see that.
Kiwi.
He's like an assassin or whatever, and like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, I wanted to see
was
that,
really
but I heard it was bad.
God awful. God
not good.
awful.
I heard it was not his fault, but like that he.
Oh, I yeah, probably not. But it's a terrible movie. The action sequences are boring. The characters are boring. It's kind of a nothing movie, despite a lot happening in it. Next would be David Cronenberg's The Shrouds, which guys,
I
you
saw the
actually
preview.
talked-
I saw the
talked me
preview
out
for
of
that
seeing it.
and decided I did not want to see it.
yeah, I'm out. I love early Cronenberg, but after Crimes of the Future and this, I'm done. It's so painfully boring, and I get that it's him working through the death of his wife, and I want to be, respectful of that, but god damn is that movie boring. Next, Together, which was that body horror movie
that one's
came
on my
out with
that one's
Alison
on my
Brie.
that's on my list. That's on
That
my
was
list.
on my
Okay.
list for this week too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, Issa, is it on your
It's
list?
it's on my top 10 list.
Okay, we'll talk about it then.
Yeah.
Honey Don't, I could not stand.
Also on my list.
Okay. All right, we'll keep going. Shelby
This is why we're
Oaks.
here, Anthony. This is why we're here.
Yeah. So these next two I'm just gonna go over, and then the worst movie I saw this year, I'll do the third. So I did not like Fantastic Four: First Steps. I felt like it's a script. It feels like script by AI. I did not like it. Final Destination Bloodline.
I would say that just real quick about Fantastic Four. I thought it was really good. I'm a comic movie fan. I'm a Marvel movie fan. I understand that there were a lot of parameters that like they had to do this, they had to do this, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. But that's like a hard, they had to introduce the Fantastic Four. That's like a big deal in the Marvel universe, and mostly because of rights issues more than anything else. But so there was a lot of pressure on and the limited which they could do it, and I thought, given that, I still really enjoyed it. It was different than the other movies, and I liked it.
I liked the whole retro future thing, but I think I gave it like kind of 4 stars, but milquetoast 4 stars. Like I didn't feel very motivated. Like I enjoyed myself watching it, but I didn't think it was fantastic. So I kind of
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I actually enjoyed it more the second time I saw it than the first time. So, maybe give it another chance if you get around to watching a superhero movie again,
Yeah, I mean, I like Marvel
it was
movies.
better than Captain America Brave New World.
That was good too. You guys are too cool for Marvel movies.
No, look, dude, I am one of the only people that enjoys. I liked Thor: The Dark World, and I'm like one of 2 people in the world that like that movie. So
you just like being contrary, I think. So, but
why does everybody keep saying that to me?
Because you're often contrary.
And then the last on my list of movies I didn't like this year was a movie called Shelby Oaks. It is absolutely trash, and it's made by somebody who I guess has been a longtime YouTube film critic, and I don't know how you can watch so many movies and be a critic and not understand some basic filmmaking tenets, some basic screenwriting like beats. Like I was just angry the whole movie. And there's a CGI truck that pulls up to a CGI sanatorium, and at that point I just lost my mind.
And that just can't be economical to film. Why not just drive a truck up to a building? Like,
yeah, I don't know. It makes me fucking crazy. It's one of these movies, like, it wants to be Hereditary, it wants to be something else, but it just doesn't have the sauce. Did you guys ever see The Menu?
Yes.
This is what I like in it too. There's that scene where he makes Nicholas Holt make a meal and it turns out to be trash and then he kills himself. That is how I felt watching Shelby Oaks. I felt like I was watching somebody who had no idea how to actually do the thing that they critique. I hate that fucking movie. Anyway,
Okay.
that's my worst of list. David?
Okay, so I have 4 movies on my disappointments list, and 2 of them are based on works by one author who also has 2 adaptations in my top 10. So, which is you can probably guess who that is, but okay, so this next one is a big spoiler, so skip ahead 2 minutes if you don't want spoilers for Weapons, because
Wait, Weapons is on my list.
Weapons
Weapons
on your
is also
list.
on my list.
Okay, so I will just say this. I really liked Weapons, but I was disappointed because there's one thing that I think would have made it a stone cold classic, and we can talk about that when we get to its highest spot on the list. And when I talk about it, I will give a spoiler warning. That being said, I just want to make clear, I thought it was a good movie. I just thought there was one big mistake. Now, on the disappointments, let's go to the 2 Stephen King disappointments. First off, The Monkey. I watched The Monkey in a very weird setup. I watched it on my laptop on a bus from Oakland to Santa Barbara on my way back from the Bay Area. And the first like 20, 25 minutes, I thought it was hilarious and kind of genius. And then I just felt like the movie fell apart like completely. And I thought, what's her name from Orphan Black? Tatiana Malzani. I thought she was hilarious in that. And like I said, if it had been a half an hour like episode of like of Tales from the Dark Side, I think it would have been great. It just was not meant to be a full-length movie. But that wasn't the most disappointing Stephen King movie of the year. The most disappointing Stephen King movie of the year was the latest destruction or shat upon version of Salem's Lot.
I thought you were going to say
this year?
I thought you were going to say The Running Man.
No.
Was that this year?
That was this year. That was
earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Salem's Lot, so poorly done. It's obviously like they hit a lot of the beats of the book, but the thing is it's like a suitcase with too much in it where you're trying to sit on it to try to get everything in. And it didn't work. And I'm not sure if it's better or worse than the 2000s version with Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer, but that was pretty bad. And I don't think there was any reason to do it. And I think the 70s one is totally fine, and it's period for when it was. And no one should mess with Salem's Lot again. Just leave it alone. But my biggest disappointment of the year, even though I was entertained by it and I laughed many, many times while watching it, it would be Play Dirty, written and directed by Shane Black. Because Shane Black did 2 movies in a row, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys, that were like 2 just knockdown, drag out classics, amazing movies. I just want him to keep making amazing movies. And Play Dirty is not that. Did either of you see Play Dirty?
No, I
didn't
don't
see it. No,
I don't remember hearing about it.
Okay, straight to Amazon heist movie by Shane Black, starring Mark Wahlberg as Parker, like the famous like character Parker, who's the bank thief or whatever. Now there is Shane Black dialogue. There's Christmas. There's
all the Shane Black staples.
There's all the Shane Black staples. There's definitely a couple lines of dialogue that will seriously make you laugh. But the movie's a straight up weird mess, and it's just like all over the place. I would say it's worth watching because it's Shane Black, but I was disappointed that it wasn't better. Right? Like it should, like Shane Black made a new movie. It should be on my top 10 list. I think The Predator broke him when he did that. And yeah, that was bad. So what order do we want to go in? Do we want Issa to
Wait,
start?
I still have I did my hated, but I have some honorable mentions.
Oh yeah, so do you want to start honorable mentions?
Yeah, sure. So nostalgia, I really on my list, but I really enjoyed Spinal Tap 2 and The New Naked Gun. Like those were two.
Oh, I didn't get to see Spinal Tap.
They both were, I wouldn't, they're not like the greatest movie I've ever seen. They're not better than the original, nothing like that. But I went to the theater. I got exactly what I expected. Spinal Tap 2 was very short, but it was hilarious. And man, that's, it just seems like we have to mention Rob Reiner. It's very sad.
Yeah.
The guy's amazing. I'm glad that we got to see Spinal Tap 2. So that was
well, and it's interesting that it makes his career like as a director like bookend with
no, for sure.
I have a Naked Gun on my top 10, by the way, just a
okay, all right, okay, cool. I'm glad because I feel like that deserves more discussion. So then I also had a couple movies that I really liked. One was straight to Netflix, which I don't usually care for, but House of Dynamite. It's Catherine
House of Dynamite is on my list.
Oh, okay, all right. And then Black Phone 2, which was it wasn't like good enough to be on my list, but it was like surprisingly good for a horror movie sequel. Like because they threw it together on the success of the first movie, and I really enjoyed the first movie. And David, I know you did too.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Black Phone 2 yet.
Okay, well, check it out. I won't spoiler you, but there is one really funny thing to watch out for. Is it's got the worst 80s dialogue I've ever seen. As someone who experienced the 80s, someone actually says, "That would be radical."
Oh no! I haven't seen Black Phone 2 either.
Yeah, so that's my favorite line. That would be radical. Like anyone would ever say that instead of just saying rad or radical.
Ethan Hawke was also in one of my favorite TV shows of the year, which is the Lowdown. If you guys not seen that,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, see the Lowdown.
And the last thing I want to say is Back to the Future got re-released for its 40th anniversary. And I took my 12-year-old daughter to that, and she actually enjoyed it, which is amazing because she does not like old movies, generally speaking. And I did the math, and if I had gone when I was 12, if I had gone to a movie that was in the theaters again after 40 years, it would have been 1944. Which is like the most insane sounding thing. I'm like, if I'd seen a movie when I was 12 that came out 40 years earlier, it would have been World War II. Like I don't even know like what movies. I went back and looked like what famous movies came out in 1944. I don't even know. Like I don't remember. But
I just watched a World War II mission movie from 46. Mm-hmm. So it was actually pretty good. Called Against the Wind.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like really right after the war.
Yeah, totally. But anyway, Back to the Future, still 40 years later, still a great movie.
A classic.
Yeah, it's unfuckwithable, as they say.
Yeah. As I say, yes. David's over stealing my terms.
Anthony, your turn for honorable mentions.
Yeah. So I got a few. I didn't hate Him. Did you guys see Him? The horror movie?
Him's on my list.
Okay. So I'll save that. Sorry, David. Sorry, Issa. I put Badlands on my honorable mentions, but it did not make my top 10.
It's in my top 10.
I don't even remember what Badlands is.
Predator.
Oh, Predator. Yeah, of course. I left it off my list. It deserved an honorable mention, but we'll talk about it.
It's on my list.
Good Boy is an honorable mention. I think that as far as like the story, it's kind of whack, but being able to shoot with a dog like that is pretty impressive from a filmmaking standpoint. So I wanted to honorable mention Good Boy. Did you guys see the spooky dog movie?
It wasn't an AI dog.
No, it's an actual dog.
Okay.
There's a whole after the movie ends. There's a whole kind of thing where they're showing how they shot with their dog. I think it was over the course of a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
So I don't like the script, and I don't really like some of the goofy like scares, but it's really impressive as far as like getting a dog to act.
Cool.
I didn't end up loving this as much as I wanted to, but Macon Blair's remake of the Toxic Avenger was okay. There's some cool stuff in it, but I didn't love it. I thought Companion was good, but it needed. I think the third act of Companion is. Did you guys have Companion on your list?
I saw Companion.
It's on my honorable mentions. So
okay, I will. I was just gonna say, like, I think the third act is strong, but the lead up to it is kind of.
See, I was the opposite. I thought the lead up was good, and then I thought it just descended into ridiculousness at the end.
Yeah, I thought so too. I preferred the beginning. I thought it was going to be better.
Yeah. Den of Thieves 2 Pantera, I shockingly had a great time with. And like, did you guys ever see?
Heard.
I like these kind of.
Do you have to have seen Den of Thieves to get?
Yes, you do have to have. I'm a sucker for these machismo ass action movies, especially if they have Gerard Butler. I'm not gonna lie about it. But like, if Den of Thieves 1 is like a Monster Energy drink as a movie, Den of Thieves 2 is kind of like a Jack and Coke. It's just a slightly more refined movie. And it's got some cool shit in it. Also, Gerard Butler wandering around being drunk is really funny to me.
I know that Den of Thieves 2 made the Empire Film Best of the Year, like 20 Best of the Year list, and people were like freaking out about it. So
I liked it. Next up is a real. Go ahead.
They were with you.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but A Real Pain with Jesse Eisenberg and which Culkin is that? They go.
Yeah,
it's
that's an incredible movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And Jesse Eisenberg's wearing an Indiana University hat throughout the movie, which is weird to me. But
David will get this. That movie was like me having to watch me and Kai tolerate each other for 2 weeks. So I really resonated with.
Is he about to move in with you for a month?
No, he's just gonna bring his van up here.
Oh,
and
okay.
Then I'm gonna pack my shit into it. And then my last honorable mention is Thunderbolts. I really enjoyed Thunderbolts way more than I thought I did. It reminded me of like an old. I can't believe I'm saying this now. There've been so many of them, but it reminded me of like a
list, right? Thunderbolts.
You know what? I have a policy of not putting Marvel movies on the list because they were releasing so many movies that I felt like my list would just all be Marvel movies. But I really enjoyed Thunderbolts a lot. I like.
Yeah, I did too.
I like Thunderbolts, but it wasn't anywhere on my list. Yeah, but I liked it.
Yeah. I like it. It reminded me of an earlier MCU movie, like, and it was like a kind of a story's in and out. All the characters are great in it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and so those are my honorable mentions.
See, he can like an MCU movie.
Yeah.
I like
those are your honorable mentions.
Yep.
I want to make a dishonorable mention to 2 movies that were good that had the most horrendous musical scores ever.
Okay.
This. Which is so in the category of intrusive scores that almost ruin an otherwise good movie. Spike Lee's Higher and Lower.
Oh man, you're breaking my heart, David.
Is that on your list?
No, but I'm sad
like
that everybody I trust has been saying it's not great, but
no, it's a good movie. And I mean, you should watch the original and the Spike Lee movie, the original Kurosawa movie, which I think is a better movie overall. But like, I think seeing what Spike Lee did with it was pretty cool. But the score sucks. And then One Battle After Another, the musical score made me want to pull my eyeball.
That's on my list. We'll get it. How is it not on your list? That was such a good movie. Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I said it was a good movie, but the score was so horrendous. I could barely.
That's how I felt about Marty Supreme. I really liked the movie, but I didn't put it on my list because of
you broke up. The Marty Supreme producers like sabotaging Issa.
Hold on,
guys. I got Starlinked. I'm sorry. I don't know what you heard of me saying.
You just said that.
I thought what I was about to hear was that you don't like the Marty Supreme soundtrack.
Yeah, because it's a movie about the 1950s and it's all 80s music. It was the most like drag you out of the story thing ever. Like it's like it's all synth pop from the 80s. I love the actual
score. Do
you have it on your list?
Good. It's number 3 on my list.
Okay, so yeah. Well, you didn't have to.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. I love the movie, hated the soundtrack, ruined the movie.
Okay.
Okay. So my shout outs, my honorable mentions. First is Nuremberg, which was written by one of the co-writers of Zodiac, and stars Russell Crowe in a fat suit playing Hermann Goring. And this movie, I might be biased because I watched it while I was editing the sequel to The Last Night to Kill Nazis, which takes place like pretty much at the exact same time. But this is a movie about like the nature of evil, and Hermann Goring was like basically, and I say this with all due respect, he was the Donald Trump of the Nazi Party.
Wait, due respect to whom in this case?
All respect to no one.
Yeah,
But,
there's no respect due at all to any
well,
of
just
this.
that he was like a screaming narcissist, and he was the one that didn't commit suicide and thought he could talk his way out of everything. And so it's the story of a psychologist who interviews him, and the only thing that held the movie back was the message of the movie was really on the nose, like really on the nose.
Sure.
But it should be seen for Michael Shannon, of course. Anthony's favorite. Michael Shannon's performance as one of the prosecutors at Nuremberg, and Russell Crowe is pretty fantastic as Goring. It's, if you had told me like 20 years ago that this performance would come out of Russell Crowe, first of all, I didn't foresee him gaining that much weight, but you know, he's pretty incredible in it. And Michael Shannon, also, I mean, this is a TV show, so he was in a miniseries on Netflix called Death by Lightning, playing the President Garfield, which is a must-see TV miniseries if you haven't seen it, about American politics. So we're big fans here of Michael Shannon, so shout out to Michael Shannon.
Hell yeah, it's my guy. Everybody watch Bug if you haven't watched William Friedkin's Bug.
Yeah,
fuck, that movie's
sure.
good.
Okay, so my next on I figure this might be on one or both of your lists, but I'm going to give an honorable mention to Eddington.
That's on my list.
Okay, very good. Companion, we already talked about. In the category of really dumb movies that I liked anyways, The Gorge. Did either of you guys see?
No, I skipped it.
I saw The Gorge.
Yeah. The Gorge is really dumb on many levels, but I really enjoyed it. From Scott Derrickson, who also made Black Phone and Black Phone 2. And it's just kind of a ridiculous movie on many levels, but it's kind of weird that it exists, right? It's just,
it was a very strange movie.
Yeah. And speaking of strange movies that probably shouldn't exist, I'm also going to give a shout out in my honorable mentions to Havoc, from the director of The Raid. Not a great movie, but had some things that I really liked. It had some action scenes. It's set in this really surreal, like, because it was filmed like, I think in Asia, but it was supposed to take place in America. And
it's supposed to be New York.
It's supposed to take place in New York. Yeah, but it's like so obviously not New York. It comes off as this.
I mean, it could have been, because half the buildings are fucking CGI in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't finish it. I hated it so much, but go on.
Yeah. There are a few action scenes in it that are really, really good. And I kind of like how insanely surreal the movie is. I cannot in good conscience put it on my list or call it a good movie. But I'm shouting it out because I was entertained by it.
And shout out to my man, who's great in everything, no matter what the quality movie, Luis Guzman.
Yeah. And I thought Tom Hardy was hilarious in it. And
yeah, with his silly New York accent.
Yes, very silly. Okay, so who wants to do their number 10 first?
I'll go first. I picked this because, well, obviously I enjoyed it, but also I knew that neither of you would pick this. It's almost on the young adult side of the spectrum, but Regretting You, it's like,
never heard of it.
Yeah,
also never heard of it.
It's a combination of like a young adult like coming of age movie mixed with like a family drama, and it shouldn't have been good. Like the preview wasn't good. Like it had no pieces that should have been. It had no right to be as good as it was, but it was just perfect. It had really good pacing. The acting was good. The characters were good, and a lot of it's really cheesy, but even the cheesy parts were enjoyable. I highly recommend everybody checking it out if you're into that kind of thing.
Who's in it? What are we
I
talking?
don't know. I have no idea. I don't.
Okay.
I didn't recognize any actors, but I don't. Also don't remember. It was a while ago.
Anthony, you're number 10.
One battle after another, which might be higher on your list.
It's higher on my list.
Okay, so we'll
Okay.
come back to one battle after another. My number 10 is Predator Badlands. Did anybody have it higher? Nobody has it on their list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was honorable mention, but yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Predator Badlands. First of all, I am a sucker for, I think, Dan Trachtenberg, who I think really, I mean, Prey, I thought he understood what he was doing with this franchise in a really cool way. He tried really hard to keep it under wraps. There was a Predator movie for a long time, and I respected that. So now he's openly in the thing, and then he's trying to figure out what to do different. And we've never had one of the Predators actually be the kind of hero of the story. And here's one thing that's really interesting about the movie that most people aren't noting. There's not a single human being in this movie. And that's one thing that I really appreciated about the movie. It's all robots and whatever their Predator's ridiculous species name is.
It's not just Predator.
Yeah.
No.
No.
They say it in the movie a million times. I just can't
It's
remember.
like Yutaki or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yautja.
Yautja.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's perfect storytelling, but also I just thought it was a fun theatrical experience. Like, and it didn't. I thought it was cool that they didn't make the Predators actually speaking English during like all the scenes when it was just them. That they actually had the Yautja language and all that. And I just I thought it was fun. Anybody else want to chime in on this
I
one?
really liked maybe the first half. It's hard to remember exactly what happened when, but for some reason they had this thing where they had the two androids, the lab android and the action adventure android, and they were supposed to be like the yin and yang of this team that was sent. And then there were all these other androids that were all the whatever, just they all look the same. And I didn't understand why the lab android was able to so easily kill all the others, right? Like she wasn't the field android, she was the land android. And somehow she was like a million times better at fighting than all the other androids. And it just became like army of androids at the end. And I really didn't enjoy that. But I liked the rest of the movie a lot. I thought the thing being the animal that they make friends with being the son of the animal they're after, the unkillable animal, was kind of a nice little twist. Aside from that, it was very predictable, but mostly really enjoyable. It's just very forgettable.
Yeah. Well, it's only at 10.
I'm split on Badlands because I think I don't really like it as a Predator movie. I have a hard time with what I feel like in how Disneyified the story felt to me. And at the same time, as a sci-fi movie, like a sci-fi action adventure, I think it's really fucking fun. And the score is bitchin'. The score for Badlands is awesome.
It is very good.
I've listened. That was my before I messed my back up deadlifting last week. That was my my workout jams was the Predator Badlands soundtrack. I think the fight sequences are cool. I think I love that opening sequence with the two predators and then the dad predator.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the movie progresses, kind of like what Issa was saying, as the movie progresses, it kind of becomes less and less interesting.
Yeah.
And I know that the way they got away with that PG-13 rating is because, as David said, there's no human beings in the movie. Theoretically, they're either androids or, monsters.
Yeah, which is weird because if you're carried up artificial life, I get yeah, whatever. Anyways,
yeah, and one more thing on Badlands. Sorry, I need everybody to stop reminding me of the other movies. Look, there's that whole fight sequence with the power loader that she's in. It's like, come on, guys! Like, I fucking have seen these movies so many times. I know it's iconic. Move the fucking story. Move the canon of this universe forward. Please stop elbow nudging me, because you're taking away from what could be a new, unique, fun set piece.
Yeah,
and that I felt was really annoying. All right, I'll move on.
Well, and look, I want to be clear how I rate my movies. I rate my movies by how much I enjoy them and how much fun I have. I don't rate them on how good they are necessarily. Like, the good can move something up and around, and it can move the enjoyment level. I know One Battle After Another is a better movie than Predator Badlands. But
sure,
I don't have it on my list because there were certain things that I just didn't like about the experience of watching One Battle After Another, which we'll get to. Whereas, like, and just things that took me out of that movie. Whereas, like, I was able to go with the flow with a lot of Predator Badlands, and
it's a fun movie.
And personally, like, seeing like Eddington, I know, for example, is another one. It's better. It's a better movie, but that also showed me a world that I see enough of. And Predator Badlands is showing me another world, like, and it's showing me science fiction, and it's doing something that I personally would rather go and sit in a theater and watch that.
Well, you didn't want to be reminded of COVID for 3 hours?
No, not particularly. But
no,
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that movie when we get there.
It's just as a quick aside, it is really interesting how you pick your movies. I sort of pick them the same way, like how much I enjoy them, but you also have to weigh how good of a movie it actually is. I
wouldn't put a movie on my list that sucks.
For sure. But also other factors,
except for the next one.
I also factor in how original something is and how memorable it is. Like, a lot of these movies are really good but totally forgettable. Badlands, if you guys hadn't mentioned Predator Badlands right now, I would not have thought about that again for like the longest time, right? Like, it made such a small impression. But
and I am definitely contradicting myself with my next choice.
To do a little bit of foreshadowing, I had a really hard time deciding on the order of all these movies, but I knew exactly what my number one was going to be.
Absolutely, same. Yeah. And I kind of like, there are movies that aren't my number one that are better made movies, but my number one, like, I just felt so more affected by, and like, I just resonated so much with me. So like, I'm definitely not over here being like a non-biased film critic where I'm like, technically this was actually the most well-made movie of the year. So like,
hold it. Well, now no one's leaving this video. They want to see what our number ones are. We really sold it.
Okay, number 9, Issa.
Number 9, I have Him, which is, it was, I went in expecting something a little different because I had misread the marketing stuff and thought it was a Jordan Peele movie, but it was just like produced by Jordan Peele or something. And it was really good, but it was like really long and it didn't quite come together perfectly. But I really enjoyed it, and there was a lot of really good filmmaking in there. So it's number 9 on my list.
I agree with Issa on that. I don't think it's definitely an imperfect movie, and I wish he had gotten to the training facility a lot sooner, because I think that's when the movie really kind of kicks off. Yeah. I love Marlon Wayans in it. I love the third act. I love that final scene. And I like a unique concept. Like, how many football horror movies are there, right? And there's a lot of really cool camera work and stuff throughout that I was like, okay, maybe I don't love it, but they're doing something different, and that's really appealing to me. So yeah, I liked Him. That's why it was an honorable mention.
Okay, Anthony, you're number 9.
I have The Naked Gun as my number 9.
All right, I want
loved
to
it.
tell you at the beginning, my favorite line of this Naked Gun was when Pamela Anderson says, "Why would anyone want to kill my brother?" And he responds, "Trust me, there's a reason to kill everyone. There's a reason everyone. There's a reason to kill everyone, or something like that." It's great.
The snowman little montage was
It's
like the
perfect.
funniest thing
It's
I've ever seen.
perfect. Yeah. So David, is this higher on your list or
No, it's not on my list, but I did
Okay.
like it.
so this and I can't remember. Issa, was this an honorable mention for you?
It was a nostalgia honorable mention for me. I
Oh,
really
okay.
enjoyed it, but
So-
it wasn't original enough to make my list because it was
Yeah.
serious.
I historically don't really like physical comedy. Like this type of humor doesn't really do it for me. I grew up watching those movies, like the original Naked Guns, because my family watched them a lot. Like my grandpa fucking loved Leslie Nielsen in the Naked Gun movies. But I like watching this. I had an incredible time. You got Liam
Yeah.
Neeson does a great job. The recurring coffee bit was perfect. That recurring coffee bit got me every time. Same thing with the snowman thing. Like it was, I loved it, and
I
I
think
loved
our
it for
hardest
those things.
last night when Carrie and I watched it was the guy watching with the infrared binoculars scene. I think we laughed a lot.
I
So
like that
this was
scene.
this
Go
was a
ahead,
movie that you should have seen in the theaters. This is like you have the whole audience laughing hysterically, like you're missing lines because people are laughing so hard. Like there aren't many movies that are like that, and this nailed it.
And we don't get a whole lot of comedies like this anymore either.
Yeah.
And so I felt some nostalgia for it. And
Pamela Anderson's jazz distraction was pretty great. Yeah.
Danny Houston being villainous Danny Houston. Oh, I forgot to put that fucking terrible Crow remake on my worst of list. But anyway.
You actually saw that? Wait, was that this year?
I don't remember.
I think it was the year
that
before.
was last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, but since they surely got paid.
There you go.
Right.
So yeah, that's my number 9.
All right. Oh wait, it's my turn. Okay, so breaking the rule that I just said, where I said I don't put poorly made movies on my list, but I guess I did. And I know Issa saw this one, but my number 9 is Cleaner.
I didn't see this one.
Wait, was Cleaner this year?
It was this year.
Okay, all right.
Cleaner is another Die Hard retread starring Daisy Ridley as a window cleaner. And she has an autistic brother who gets trapped in a building taken over by terrorists. And there is absolutely nothing original about this movie. It is pretty stupid, but I actually thought
fun.
That it was fun. They nailed all the beats, and I turned it on expecting it to be extremely stupid. And I was actually tired when I turned it on, and I did not fall asleep, and I enjoyed the whole thing. And then, and the performances are kind of bonkers and over the top and insane. And it's a movie that I think needs to be rewarded for how stupidly like on the nose it is.
Totally. I kept thinking of Entourage, how they were always pitching Matterhorn, Die Hard at Disneyland. It's that movie. Like it's exactly Die Hard. Like they even have a tall building, like
I've been thinking about revisiting that show, but
anyway,
I wouldn't. I don't think it stood up. I don't know how well it stood it was cringy when it aired. Like
that doesn't mean it didn't have some funny shit in it.
Oh, it did. I loved it. I loved some of it, but it definitely was cringy, and I would imagine that it's even cringier now. But the good part were very.
I'm interested to see if Anthony enjoys Cleaner, because what I liked about it was it kind of felt like a movie that shouldn't get made now, that it's like, okay, we've already done all the Die Hards, right? Like it shouldn't exist. And there's some really comical stuff about like the villains and their motivation, because in some ways I should be really on board with the villains in this movie, right? And but it just the the over the topness of the villains is one of the things that I found hilarious about this movie.
Yeah.
And don't go into it like thinking you're going to get a serious action movie. Go into it like it would be a great double feature with Von Damme's sudden death, as far as like the best Die Hard ripoffs. And look, Anthony and I are not above it. We wrote a Die Hard ripoff, so like
we did, yeah.
I mean,
one of my
Die
favorite
Hard's
things
awesome.
we've
You
done
can't go
together.
wrong.
Can't go wrong there. So
I know David hates my tangents, so I'll try to keep this quick. But just going on what Issa was saying about
tangent alert.
Entourage being cringy. I was hanging out with my friend last night, and we double featured the Cable Guy and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. And
I just watched Ace Ventura like 2 nights ago because my wife had never seen it.
Aside from the transphobic kind of like plot line, like thing, I think it's a fucking hilarious movie still.
Yeah, my wife went on a long thing about how she was shocked that it was made, and whatever. Like
anyway, Ace
Cable Ventura Guy was
rules.
Yeah, it holds up really.
It really holds up. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Tangent.
So that's my number 9, Cleaner.
Okay. All right, my number 8. I don't know if anyone saw this except me, but Oh Hi, which is a strange title.
Like Oh Hi, the town,
like,
or
no, like oh hello there, like oh hi, like as in someone comes to the door and you're like, oh hi, it's
I've not even heard of this.
Yeah, it was
Me
in
neither.
the theater. You guys would both enjoy it from a writing perspective. It's a really small budget movie. It's mostly a single setting. There's a couple scenes, but it's basically a single setting movie. It's more like a play than a movie. But it's really well written and worth checking out. It's I don't even know how to explain it without just spoiling the whole thing. But oh hi, give it a chance.
I'll check it out.
Anthony, you're number 8.
My number 8 is
guys.
Luca Guadagnino's Queer, which is did either of you see it?
Nope.
No.
It's basically Daniel Craig playing William S. Burroughs. It's based. I can't remember the Burroughs
I did
novel.
Want to see this.
It's based on. Craig delivers an incredible performance. It's beautifully shot, wonderfully weird at times, and I very thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, I wanted to see that, but I didn't.
My number 8.
All right, so my number 8 might be higher on someone's list, and that's Begonia.
That's higher on my list.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Issa, your number
7. This movie was already mentioned. Anthony didn't like it, but Honey Don't. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like the greatest movie I've ever seen or anything, but you don't. There aren't a lot of movies like that made these days, and I enjoyed it.
It's one of the Coen brothers, right?
Yeah.
And therein lies my issue with it. I agree with you, Issa, but at the same time, a lot of the dialogue just felt really flat for me. I kept watching it being like, this should have just been a Coen brothers movie. And it's also really short.
It is very short.
Like, I feel like the movie ends really before it should. I like Chris Evans in it.
Yeah, he's really funny.
But yeah, it just like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I could have rather this have been a Coen Brothers movie.
It could have been better for sure, and there definitely could have been more to it. And I agree, the pacing was a little strange. Like you kind of like get the twist, and then it all happens really fast, and it could have slowed down a little. But I enjoyed it.
All right, Anthony, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Warfare.
What is it?
Warfare.
Oh yes,
I wanted to Alex see that. Garland war movie. Issa, did you see it?
No, I'm trying to remember what movie that is. It doesn't.
He actually only co-directed it, but
I thought he co-wrote it. But he co-directed it. Yeah, it's basically a very contained. It's about soldiers in Iraq during the early days of the Iraq War. And it's just a very well shot fucking movie. It's intense, and
I need to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, David, I'm surprised you haven't seen it. I feel like you'd be into it.
I had it was only in theaters here for like a week, and I had a really busy week. And then when I didn't see it in the theater, I wasn't sure if it was like worth seeing it. Like I thought it was a theatrical thing, but Alex Garland is one of my favorite writers, so I should have seen it. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That's my number
Yeah, I
7.
should have seen it. I should have seen it too. I don't know why I missed that one.
yeah. All right, my number 7. Uh, uh, director who came out of the gates hot in his career. Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing. Does anybody have this one on their list?
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Okay.
And,
I
it's
saw it,
also written by Charlie Houston. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh. I saw it. I don't know why it's not on my list. It could have been on my list, but I didn't love it. Like
Caught Stealing to me is bleak as fuck. It's very bleak. I appreciated how bleak it was.
So you're saying I'd like it, David?
Yeah, Doctor Who with a mohawk. I'm down for that. Yes, Anthony, you would really like it. It's a crime movie. It's like set in like the late 90s in New York. It has a lot of punk rock. Like it's one of those movies where things just keep getting worse and you can't believe it keeps getting worse for the characters. And I one of the reasons why I think I appreciated it so much was that there was a certain point where Carrie was like, I can't take any more of this. And then I was like, that's impressive, that the movie got to that level. Plus, the bleakness of it kept making me laugh. And like, although Austin Butler's character makes incredibly dumb choices throughout the movie. And so if you're a person that can't take movies where characters make dumb choices all the time, maybe not for you. But yeah, Caught Stealing is my number 7. And it actually has a really good punk rock new wave soundtrack in it, of songs that are technically out of date for the era, and one of the best uses of the Buzzcocks in a movie ever. Has there been a lot of uses of the Buzzcocks in movies? I don't know, but very great use of the Buzzcocks. So yeah, and I haven't liked the last couple Darren Aronofsky movies, although I loved his first couple movies. So I thought it was kind of a return to form, and it was really screenplay by Charlie Houston, who's mostly a novelist. So we like to see that.
And Shotgun Rule is a great book, if anybody is.
Yeah, and in crime telling mode, not science fiction mode, or horror mode. So yeah. Issa, you're number 6.
For number 6, I chose F1, which came out at the beginning of the year, so it's been a while. But it's the driving movie, obviously, and it's Brad Pitt, and you really just can't go wrong. It was it was long. Like it definitely could have been a little shorter, but I really like Brad Pitt. He puts on a good performance almost always, but this was especially good. And the movie worked really well. I'm not an F1 fan, like the actual Formula One car racing fan, but I enjoyed the movie.
I really wanted to see it. I really wanted to see it, and I really wanted to see it in theaters because it seemed like a movie shot to watch in the movie theater.
It's shot really, really well. Like I think like a larger percentage than normal, I feel like it's on my list because it was shot well. That was really one of them.
Okay, Anthony, you're number 6. We are cooking, guys. We are actually doing this pretty fast this year.
We got something to talk about still, so we're good.
My number 6 is Weapons.
Oh, okay.
Mine's higher.
Okay.
My Weapons is higher.
Okay. All right, then. My number 6 is House Full of Dynamite, by Catherine Bigelow. Have both of you seen this? Anthony, I'm not sure this is.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah. Okay.
It was straight to Netflix. I saw it.
Is that the nuclear war movie where they're all trying to? Okay, I meant to see it, but I didn't get around to it.
Okay. Well, and spoilers here for this one, because I do think you can kind of spoil this movie. But so you can skip ahead a little bit if you haven't seen it yet. Anthony's like, I'm out. Yeah.
I'm just going pee while you talk about this movie I haven't seen.
Okay.
That seems fair.
So it has the Rashomon structure, sort of. I think well, here's the thing. Everyone gets wrong when they say it has the Rashomon structure. So I want to talk about that in a little bit. But it has 3 points of view of telling the story of a nuke gets launched at Chicago, and it's about all the time between when the nuke gets launched and when it hits, not the actual hit of it. And you can consider that a spoiler, but I think for the most part, you can't ruin this movie because it's all built on the tension of the reaction and all those things. I found it to be a pretty terrifying movie if you put yourself in the shoes of the people that are there. And I think Catherine Bigelow shot the hell out of it. The performances in it are incredible and nuanced because you see some of the characters and from different points of view and different situations. And it was kind of refreshing to see. Well, anyways, but I don't know. Issa, it was on your honorable mentions. Did you have anything?
Yeah, the only reason it wasn't on my list is because it was straight to Netflix, and Netflix just a Netflix movie doesn't have the same impact as seeing something in the theater for me personally. But I really liked it. Catherine Bigelow is great. Like, I'm a huge fan, and this one was tense. I went in expecting very little just because I literally knew nothing about it when I turned it on. It was one of, that's me and Netflix almost always. I don't know what I'm about to watch when I get to it.
There's
So
two important things that I want to say about House Full of Dynamite. It is an absolutely terrifying movie, but not necessarily for the reasons that people talk about. I think it's a terrifying movie because it shows the reaction to a nuclear missile being launched by a competent government. And if you put yourself in the shoes of all these events happening with the Donald Trump administration, like reacting to these things, it's 100 times more horrifying of a movie if you think about it that way, in my opinion. And so that's one of the things that makes it more horrifying. And then the other really important thing to note about this movie is absolutely every film nerd, film analysis person, reviewer, every single one of them got something entirely wrong about this movie, and it drove me fucking nuts. Is every single one of them would say, told in a Rashomon style of storytelling. This movie is not told in a Rashomon storytelling point of view. Rashomon is about 3 different points of view of a story where everybody has a different perspective on what's happening. And Rashomon is about the 3 different people seeing things completely differently and having a different interpretation of what happened. Everyone thinks the same thing is happening in House Full of Dynamite. You see it from a different point of view. This is not fucking Rashomon, people. Know your fucking film when you talk about it. That annoyed the shit out of me for a week straight when this movie came out. I like every single time somebody would say, told in a Rashomon style, I'm like, no, you're fucking wrong. Just like when Ad Astra came out and everyone said that it was a 2001 style movie, when every goddamn thing in Ad Astra was explained, right? It's not 2001. So just fucking think before. Anyways, House Full of Dynamite, everybody got that fucking.
David never gets heated like me, so it's so fun
that
to
was
see.
That was a nerve. Those reviews must have
it struck a fucking nerve with me. Yeah.
Anyway,
the
movie's really good, and a lot of the this isn't a spoiler, but just like what really stuck with me was just like the whole who lives who dies decisions kind of things. Like those were, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, and Idris Elba is great. Rebecca Ferguson's great in it, so as always. So and worth seeing. Yeah. and it's kind of three different movies. So if you didn't like the first third, don't worry that the second and third thirds
Yeah.
are a little different. So that was my number 6. So
number 5.
I cheated on my number 5 again, but number 5.
Okay, so I picked Together, which I know Anthony didn't like. My plan, because I found out Together is a horror movie about the two people that get turned into one person by some series of events. Um, it was sued by a movie called Better Half, which was a 2023 movie that apparently never got released. But apparently, the director of Better Half pitched the idea to the stars of Together, who then decided to make it themselves, apparently, and got sued. So I don't know what's happened there. My plan had been to try to watch A Better Half, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I forgot. So I didn't try very hard. But it wasn't like the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I thought it was really original, which was ironic because then they got sued for ripping someone off. So, Anthony, what did you not like about it?
It just felt like it wanted to be Hereditary and Midsummer really bad. I think that there are some moments that are kind of interesting and cool, but like it ultimately kind of becomes really silly and goofy. Also, I have a personal gripe with this movie because I wrote a short story in 2015 called The Recreator about a couple that joins a cult by becoming one thing. And I was watching the movie like this, like, what the fuck? But like I think that's just an example of some like parallel thinking. For legal reasons, I'm not saying I think this movie ripped me off.
Right.
But and like I think the performances are pretty decent, but like there's
Together
there,
writers
there's
can't catch a break. They're ripping
I
everything.
know they're ripping off everybody.
Well, and the script is just not very good. Like in my opinion, like it's like the jump scares are I've seen before.
Yeah.
And it just didn't do it for me. And that final shot, I was like, this movie is dumb. The final shot where they're like together. No, sorry, that's not the final shot, but the shot when they're like melding together as one. Sorry, spoilers. I hated it. I did not like that movie.
Okay, fair enough. I wouldn't die on a hill for it, but I enjoyed it.
All right, Anthony, you're number 5.
Eddington is my number 5.
So I didn't see this. This looked good. I meant to see it. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it.
My man Ari Aster doesn't miss, guys. I will say I was not I was not ready to watch a 3-hour movie about the pandemic, and I didn't realize that it was going to be a little triggering for me. Like I was like, I did not want to go back to this time period. So it very much does a really good job of recreating the lockdown and kind of the tensions and the disbelief and the misinformation. I thought was handled incredibly well. I have never seen a more intense scene set to Katy Perry's Fireworks. There's a really great standoff between Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix with that song playing in the background. Joaquin Phoenix fucking crushes it as always. My only gripe is there's some later stuff in the script that happens where I'm like, we could have kind of
the fireworks scene was great. It was truly great.
There's some later stuff that the script gets a little muddy as the movie goes along. But come on, David, that scene where he gets that gun from that shop and just fucking goes ham not only is it crazy, it's beautifully shot.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil this movie too much, but yeah, Eddington is great. I actually personally think the comparison between it and One Battle After Another, like, because they were both kind of similar movies in length and all that, like, I personally think Eddington is a better movie than One Battle After Another, like head to head, which is interesting because we watched them pretty much back to back.
Damn, that's a long day.
No, not on the same day. I'm saying in the same week. We watched them in the same week. So that's why I kind of think of them together. But yeah, I mean, I am annoyed by the whole, like, every movie has to be 2.5 hours now. I think people need to learn how to fucking edit their in Final Draft, but whatever. And like all that I am annoyed with some of the length of Eddington and One Battle After Another, but I think yeah, that
Did you mean
fireworks.
final cut or did you mean edit the script down?
I mean, edit the script down. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think it should even get to filming at that point. Yeah, like, I mean, if you're a writer, director, you need to handle that business when you're writing it, in my opinion.
That's true.
It's
But
definitely easier to fix it in the writing phase.
yes,
Yeah.
and I'm always a big Joaquin fan. I'm mostly an Ari Aster fan. I didn't like Bo Isn't Afraid as much as you did.
Oh,
And
banger.
but I think I actually think this is Ari Aster's best movie to in just like is
Well,
just a
can I also
movie.
say that I love that it's not a horror movie? Like,
Yeah.
I love that Ari Aster was like, okay, I'm gonna do something. He's been doing something totally different, right? So he did Hereditary and Midsummer, which are horror movies, and Beau's Afraid, which is a very surreal, weird movie, and then he did
Yeah.
this, and like he can do. I have faith that Ari Aster can do any fucking genre at this point.
Yeah. And I would say in a lot of ways it kind of feels like one of the more serious Coen brothers movies that like
Yeah.
tone wise I and because of the setting, I guess I don't know, maybe I'm wrong to think of Blood Simple when I think of this one, but yeah, I thought it was really good. And Pedro Pascal, like, in kind of short screen time, like, does a lot.
I think that character needed more screen time. That is actually one of my gripes about that movie. But go
Yeah.
on.
And yeah, and there's some moments where you're just, you know, yeah, it's very good. I liked Eddington a lot. So, and Issa, you haven't seen it, right?
I have not seen it.
Yeah, you should see it.
I will see it. It's definitely on my list of movies to see. I wanted to see it.
Yeah. And I think Joaquin, as always, is very good in it. But it's a very interesting role for him because I think he's he's playing a character very unlike him. But he does that a lot. So
Yeah.
it's not a big thing. Okay, I kind of cheated with number 5 because I have 2 movies tied.
Of course you do.
Yeah, it's my fucking show. I can do whatever I want. But there's a reason why I tied 2 movies because they are the same writing and directing team, and they made these movies back to back and released both in this year. And that would be the team of Steven Soderbergh and David Koepp. And David Koepp, to me, is one of the most underrated screenwriters. I think he's a really great writer. And they made 2 movies this year, one called Black Bag and one called Presence. Have you guys seen either of them?
I
I
have
saw
not seen
neither.
Okay. So, Presence is a horror movie. Black Bag is a spy thriller. You guys know Steven Soderbergh, like, supposedly
Yes.
retired a couple of years ago, but then he went on this tear of movies, and he keeps working with David Koepp. David Koepp also went from immediately doing this. I guess he only works with Stevens now, but he wrote the new Steven Spielberg UFO movie. So, like, you know, whatever, he makes movies with Stevens. But Black Bag is a spy thriller movie with Michael Fassbender, Kate Blanchett, and like
Was that good?
this was incredible.
Oh
And
wow!
it has
I saw the preview and was not impressed, and so I skipped that one.
okay, let me just tell you about one scene in this movie. So the whole thing is that he plays a spy, and his wife, Kate Blanchett, is a spy, Michael Fassbender, and they know somebody in the agency is betraying them and selling secrets. So he has all of his spy friends over for dinner, and he basically puts some kind of truth serum in the food, and they have dinner. And this dinner scene is one of the best, like, uses of dialogue to build suspense since the basement piano bar scene in Inglourious Bastards. So anybody who knows me knows I love a scene where the dialogue carries all the tension and, like, build up a suspense and all that. And you know, this scene in Black Bag makes the whole movie like work. I really liked Black Bag. I thought it was really great. Presence, also by the same team, Steven Soderbergh and David Koepp, was Black Bag was a movie that Steven Soderbergh started and David Koepp wrote it, and then Presence is a movie that David Koepp started and that he originally meant to direct himself. He directed Stir of Echoes and a couple other really great movies, but Presence is a haunted house movie entirely from the point of view of the ghost. Shot from basically the vision of the ghost and the people coming into the house. Then the question becomes, is the house haunted by the supernatural spirit or by the people? Presence is really good. It's a movie that everyone knows I hate. A lot of times, anybody who listens to my podcast knows that I hate how first person narratives cheat all the time. And I'm a stickler for, like, I hate found footage movies because they cheat all the time by like putting the camera upside down and like, oh, I accidentally left the camera running so this part of the plot can be told, right? And I hate that shit. So I am totally not in the bag for this genre, but because I trust David Koepp, because I think David Koepp is one of the most underrated writers, I wanted to see what he did with it. And fucker doesn't cheat. He does not cheat in this one. There's a couple scenes that kind of blur the lines a little bit, just like Josh Mallerman's incidents around the house, which, by the way, is going to be a movie next year, and we'll see how they pull that off. But like, to pull this concept off without cheating, to me, was very impressive. And so I think both y'all would enjoy both these movies, but definitely Presence, because as horror fans, I think you want to see, and plus it's Steven Soderbergh doing a horror movie, so we don't get many of those. So definitely see Presence, and I recommend it. And Carrie, who doesn't really like supernatural stories, she liked it too. So
David, back going backwards just for a second, because you keep mentioning that everybody knows what you like and don't like. Together had a lot of parallels and reversals, and I feel like you would really enjoy that part of it.
Okay, yes, I do like parallels and reversals. You're right. Well, it was on my list for this week. I was going to watch it this week.
Yeah, just watch it with that in mind.
Yeah. And so Issa, you're number 4.
Number 4, I have Weapons.
All right, here we go.
It's one of those movies that we've talked about different point of view movies, but it's like, I didn't really love the first part, but then it got better, right? So I really liked this movie in the theater. Like, it was definitely like, I left the theater thinking, wow, that was a cool movie. It's hard to explain, really, like, for someone who, if someone asked me what was that movie about, it's kind of a complicated question to answer. Like, it was, I'm not even sure what to say about it, really. You guys both saw it, right?
Yes, I didn't get to see it in the theater, so I know that
okay.
hurt my appreciation for it, I'm sure.
So it just, the setup for it is that this whole, an entire class except for one kid has disappeared, and it was a lot of the beginning was like school shooting ish, like in the sense of like a bunch of kids being disappeared or murdered in a town, and the town dealing with the grief. And then there's this one scene where there's like an AK-47 floating over the house, which was
super
very
random.
strange. It was super random. It didn't really fit the movie. Like, I feel like there was probably an earlier draft, and according, someone told me they saw in an interview that they were making references to school shootings. So there was probably an earlier draft that was more school shooting heavy, and so that made more sense or something. I don't know. That was the one thing in the movie that was weird. But just, I love that setup, and then they tell the story, and it was really well told from a few different points of view, and it's certainly not what you expect. and it was fun.
It's also really well shot. There's some killer cinematography in that movie.
For
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Weapons. I don't there's again, I'm such a stickler for this stuff when it comes to horror, but like the jump scares are pretty weak and they're pretty generic. But the kind of concept and the plot overall with some really great performances. I love Josh Brolin waking up going, "What the fuck?" is one of my favorite moments in cinema of 2025. But I like Zach Kreger a lot. I
He
think
also
I
had
enjoyed Barb.
he
I
also
enjoyed
had some good
Barbarian more.
moments in Wake Up Dead Man. He was like one of the few things I liked in that. But,
I didn't see it. I actually didn't know he was in it.
he's pretty great in it.
Yeah, we love Zach Kreger in this house. But I just think there's some generic scares, but overall the movie is, for me, I had a blast with it. I can't wait to watch it again. I love the ending, which is not going to surprise anybody. But
Okay,
yeah.
So you might want to skip ahead if you absolutely don't want to be spoiled on Weapons. I liked Weapons a lot. I thought it was very good. I thought it did really good things with horror. I like the imagery of the kids with the running, and the fact that there's people like shooting videos of themselves running in the streets doing it is a sign that you're doing cool things with horror. There's lots of things that I've liked both this director's movies. There's lots of things to like. My thing was it could have been slightly better, in my opinion, and you guys might disagree, if the boy being bullied and like him actually having evil intentions and not having a redemption, that the kid like basically was doing like the kind of Columbine thing of being like of him like actually being kind of tortured by like the other kids in the school, and him actually turning into a weapon and like using magic to to get revenge because like this weird grandma figure like comes into his life. I think personally would have been more terrifying, because if the kid was actually like unrepentant, like, no, I took all the kids in my school out, like if that had been the angle, to me that's more terrifying, because that just would have been a scarier movie in my opinion. And that's where I thought they were going, and it would have actually made a more coherent like comment on school shootings and and um and all that. So that's just, to me, that was the thing that held back Weapons. If that had been, Weapons might have been my number one movie of the year had it had that, in my opinion.
You'd have
But
to change so much stuff though, like the parents and I don't know. But
I
that
actually
would have
don't
been
think you have to change much. Actually, I don't think you would have to change much at all. I think you would just have to change the final act once, like when Ed Harris's wife shows up, Um, but
You would have to build out that kid character differently, I
yeah,
think,
maybe.
from start to finish. But I don't disagree that that would be an interesting take.
for sure.
Yeah.
But you would have to build that character out a little differently, I think.
And it's a little bit more carry, but like,
Sure. Yeah.
but
And
that's
it
just,
takes the focus off of Aunt Gladys, which I think is a great character, but I don't disagree that that's a good idea.
yeah. Anthony, you're number 4. Unless you have
My
anything else on Weapons, Issa.
No, that's it.
Okay, you're number 4, Anthony.
My number 4 is Begonia.
All right, that was my number 8. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so I am a big Yorgos fan. I think The Lobster is still my favorite movie of his, but I thought that this movie did an incredible job. Okay, let me rephrase this. I had spoilers if you haven't seen Begonia. Fast forward in 5, 4, 3. Okay, the trailer ruined the twist for me of this movie. I was like, "There's aliens." Because there's some shots in the trailer where I'm like, no, there's aliens, because that wouldn't be there if
Well, I'd
weren't.
already seen the Korean version.
And I didn't even realize
I didn't know either that. I just could tell because otherwise it would be a really boring movie.
I think Jesse Plemons' performance alone is worth watching this movie. Like, yeah, Emma Stone's
Yes.
great, but man, Jesse Plemons fucking kills it.
Yeah, he is
And
incredible in this movie.
it's got all the Yorgos staples. It's very kind of, it's very funny while also being incredibly bleak. And I just think it was overall an incredibly well-made movie, despite having the aliens angle spoiled for me by the trailers. And that is also because my brain constantly does movie math, so I can't turn it off at this point. You guys know what I mean when I say movie math. You're like,
Yeah, for
oh,
sure.
that happens, so then this happens, and then like my brain,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop.
Totally.
So
Well, that was the thing. I was like, he's got to be right, because otherwise, what's this movie would just be so boring if it was just some crazy guy kidnapped a woman, right?
right, yeah,
Like something had to happen. But I felt like this was such a missed opportunity, because the first, it was the first half of a movie with an ending stuck on it. It was sort of like the Cloverfield Lane problem, where like all this stuff happens, like you get the ending, the reveal, that should have been like the midpoint, and then some more stuff should have happened. Like that's what I wanted.
wow, I would have liked that.
Well,
No argument here.
I will. It's hard for me because I had already seen Save the Green Planet, the original Korean film, so I went into it like, which is a very different movie, by the way, and should be seen. It's recommended, but it's a little bit more funny, I think, or played for laughs, if my memory serves. But one of the things I think would have made Begonia better and the original Korean is if there's ambiguity in the end. Like if like there's, well, hey, there's a excuse for the Rashomon style, right? Yeah. Well, and not Rashomon style, but I think the ambiguity of like, I was fine with it not happening till the end, actually, because like then there's more. I like the ambiguity of the idea. Like, I think a version where there's people who are debating it, like Blade Runner, where like, is he a replicant, is he not, is kind of an interesting way to do it. Although I'm fine with it the way it was, because I thought the ending was weird.
Where I wanted more specifically was between the reveal and the ending. I loved the ending of just like showing all the dead people around the world. Like that was amazing. I thought that was a really, really good scene. I just would have liked it to be like, okay, we've revealed her. She's on the ship. We're on the ship, but then nothing else happened. Like I would have loved to have learned more, seen more of that part, maybe let Jesse Plemons find out that he saw something or really knew the truth. Like he wasn't crazy. Like like whatever. I mean, he was crazy, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was a whole story in that few minutes in the office and between the office and the ambulance and the ship, where something else could have happened, and I would have liked that, because I thought everything else went a little long. But I really enjoyed it. Like I really liked the movie a lot. I just wish more had happened towards the end.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, it's my number 8, so I had it in my top 10.
Right.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Those are great movies. Okay, my number 4, based on the novella by Stephen King, The Life of Chuck. Did anybody have The Life of Chuck on their list?
I didn't see it.
I keep thinking you're going to say The Running Man. Like,
I didn't see The Running Man. I got to be honest with you. I didn't see it.
Okay. We could talk. I should have put that in honorable mentions or whatever, or in my nostalgia. That like it wasn't. I don't know why we're talking about The Running Man. Sorry, we'll talk about.
We talk about it after.
Life of Chuck. Anybody else see Life of Chuck?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my goodness, you people. Well, that makes me not want to talk about it super deeply. But okay, Life of Chuck is a really great novella by Stephen King that came out in the book If It Bleeds. You should read it first and then see the movie, because then when you read it, you'll go, oh, how's he going to do this? One of the interesting things for me about Life of Chuck is one of the most like PKD-ish things that Stephen King's ever written. He hasn't written a lot of PKD-ish stuff, except for maybe there's your tie-in, The Running Man.
Running
Right.
Which is kind of like Solar Lottery.
Which is kind of like Solar Lottery, so there's a whole subgenre of PKD books called the finite simulated reality, according to this extremely overwrought, intellectually written analysis of Philip K. Dick by the Italian scholar Umberto Rossi. And Life of Chuck is a finite simulated reality story. But beyond that, which is, I guess, a pretty big spoiler for it. But it's a really sweet movie. This is Stephen King in Shawshank Redemption mode. It's not a horror thing. And it was funny when they did the film. It's one of two movies, Stephen King movies with Mark Hamill in it, on this list for me. And so when they did the promotion for this movie, which is Tom Hiddleston, and it's directed by Mike Flanagan, who's done all like the Midnight Mass and all the Doctor Sleep and all that, and he did Gerald's Game, so King trusts him. But they went to such lengths to say this is not a horror movie, and it's not horror. It's a weird, surreal story. It's not exactly science fiction either, but it's a really sweet movie. And it's kind of syrupy and saccharine at times, but it's very good. And I think it's one of Flanagan's best movies. It's going to get overlooked. Hiddleston is very charming in it. And yeah, try to go into it knowing as little as possible, but
also read the novella first.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Go into reading the novella first, with knowing as little as possible, and then yeah, it's really good. Life of Chuck, and there's an argument to be made that that's the best movie that I saw this year. There is an argument for that. And it's funny that there were two Stephen Kings on the disappointments, because here he is on the best. And so yeah, that's my number 4. So you guys all did your 4, right? I stopped numbering. So Issa, you're number 3.
All right, before we get to number 3, we'll just quickly stick in The Running Man because I feel like we have to talk about it now. It was not bad if you'd never read the book, even if you had read the book, but if you'd never seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, you might think Running Man was a perfectly fine movie. It wasn't. It was just very forgettable.
It was extremely faithful to the book from what I hear, because I listened to a lot of interviews with Edgar Wright around the time that came out, but I haven't seen it.
It changes the ending the same in a different, like, it doesn't quite do the book ending. It has a, if I remember correctly, it's slightly different. It twists. It hints at the ending of the book, but then something else happens.
I would also say that, like, I saw it and I didn't hate it. I know a lot of people hated it, and a lot of people just outright refused to watch it. I didn't hate it. At the same time, I expect so much more from Edgar Wright, as far as visuals and pacing and action and like insane characters. And that is my take. I was like, oh, Edgar Wright's going to do the Running Man remake. I'm really excited to see what that looks like. And I liked the trailers. I was like, okay, cool. It's got Coleman Domingo, who I think is fucking fantastic in everything he does. But the movie just falls so flat at a certain point, which is really unfortunate.
You know why that happened? They were trying to make the 2025 release date so it would come out in the year that the novel took place, and they rushed.
Should have just said fuck it. Should have said fuck it.
They should have waited a little more. It needed a little more.
Yeah,
like it had
really
a couple.
Did.
It like had a couple scenes where you're just like, this isn't good. This part, this whole sequence, like where he shows up at someone's house. I forgot what actor it is. It's
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera, yeah, and you're just like, why is this part even in the movie? Like, this is
it's very Stephen Kingy though.
Yeah,
like
no,
with
I
his
mean,
weird mom, and I mean it takes place
Yeah.
in Derry.
yeah,
But
totally. But it could have been a much better movie with the source
yeah,
material. It should have been a better movie with Edgar
yeah.
Wright being involved. It should have been a better movie. Whatever. Okay, all right. So number 3, I have a movie we've talked about probably more than any other, One Battle After Another. I really thought it was great. It was interesting. The Christmas White Power group was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like that was
Yeah.
amazing. Sean Penn was the creepiest thing I've ever seen, like to the point where I was just uncomfortable. Um, and Leo was fantastic, and the woman that played the daughter was really good too. Everything
And
was
my
just really
man
good.
Benicio, always
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Always
He
Everything
got
was
a meme.
everything was really good.
He
Like
got a
it was
meme out
just
of that movie. He's become a meme with the I just had a few small beers.
It's not my
yeah,
favorite PTA, but it's good.
yeah. It wasn't like the greatest movie I've ever seen, and I don't even know if I'd watch it again. But I really enjoyed it, and it was a really good movie.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
movie.
it's a movie.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about my number 3, but go on.
Okay, so what I would say about One Battle After Another is that I do think it's really good. There was just, I mean, it just didn't hit me in all those ways. The scene that really did hit me was and it was filmed in San Diego County, is the car chase with the weird rolling hills. That's out near Borrego Springs, that stretch of desert, and I know it because I've been out there for star parties.
I've been out there for my old job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And so a lot of that movie was filmed also in the gas lamp. So shout out. But yeah, I don't know. It just something about it just didn't totally connect with me, but I do think it's very, very good. But and I'm hit or miss with PTA because like for every Magnolia and Boogie Nights, to me there's a Phantom Thread in there, and I just yeah. So it just
you're about to tell me you don't like Boogie Nights. I am collaborator breaking up with you.
no, I like Boogie Nights. No, Phantom Thread is the one I don't like.
Oh yeah, I missed that one. I said no, thank you.
Yeah. The Master and Phantom Thread didn't work for me. So
yeah,
and
those are also my least 2 favorite PTAs as well.
Yeah. And so yeah, and it's funny that they keep saying that it's based on Vineland from Pynchon, but it's really not. It's just like a similar story, like with the but it's really not an adaptation. So I don't know why they keep mentioning Pynchon. I think he was just like covering his ass by saying it was, so he didn't get the together thing. But yeah, so that's your number 3, Issa. Anthony, you're number 3.
Real quick, since Issa did a quick aside, I'm going to do a quick aside. I forgot to put Nobody 2 on one of my biggest disappointments of the year.
I've
list.
heard it's terrible.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah. And I really didn't like Novocaine. Okay, great. I got that out of the way. So my number 3 is also a fucking movie.
Mine's a fucking movie too.
Which is Marty Supreme.
Nice. That was a movie.
I agree with you, Issa, that the non-score tracks I don't really love, but the actual score for the movie I think is incredible.
So the problem, I just have to explain this. I feel so passionately about this, and David got to talk about all his stuff that he's all excited about. I'll try to get going here. I'll use the hands and everything. But so my kids do this thing where they think that everything that happened before, say, 2010 is all the same time, right? So like to me, I grew up in the 80s. They played New Order and I forget who else, like I knew all those songs. I grew up with those songs. Those songs were very 1980s songs. The movie takes place in 1950. They're trying to give this like 1950s vibe, and meanwhile we're listening to New Order, and I'm just like, this is dragging.
I'd say fuck a whole bunch of that. That would take me out of the movie. So
drove me crazy. It was like, am I supposed to think that this is just the 80s were basically just the 50s and they were the same thing? Like, is that what you're thinking? Like, I was so mad
That would piss
but
me
I
off
loved
too.
aside from that, I absolutely loved the movie.
This is a time where like I hear a grievance about a movie I really like, and I fully agree with you. I was But I was, again, aside from like the those songs that aren't a part of the score, I fully agree with you. Just for me, the dog subplot alone with Abel Ferreira in a killer supporting role did it for me so hard.
Yeah,
I
Like,
mean, the movie
and
was really good.
you could use anachronistic music if you had an excuse for it, or if you
Yeah.
came up with some kind of like thematic reason for it. But
mhm.
like, and I don't know what that would be because it doesn't make sense to me. But like, I would be okay with that if you had a thematic reason. But if
Yeah, but why? Why didn't they just pick some songs from the 50s or something? Like it was so
I
weird. Like
I I mean, it's one half of a Safdie brothers movie, so I think they were probably just trying to do something different. I will also say that like I don't think Tyler gets enough screen time. I think his character is great, Tyler the Creator, as Marty's buddy.
yeah.
All the performances in are incredible. I don't like. I hate Timothy Chalamet's face, which worked so much in this movie for me. But this movie got me invested in watching fucking shots of ping pong. I don't give a fuck about ping pong, or as they call it, movie table tennis. Um,
Right.
but damn, was I invested. And again, all the stuff, the subplot with the dog. I was just like watching this fucking movie like this. Like I'm so hooked. I feel like,
Yeah.
and I saw it over here. David will know this. I saw it over here at the Hollywood Theater in 70 millimeter. Um,
nice.
and so I was like, oh, I just the same thing with One
I
Battle
missed
After
that
Another.
theater. I missed that theater
Sa-
so much.
Same thing with One Battle After Another. I really love when I'm like, yes, I'm watching a goddamn movie.
See, a
You know?
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Oh,
Well, see, I feel that way
anyway.
about my number three, but I don't think you're going to think it's a goddamn movie. But I
Oh
think
boy. All right.
a theatrical experience like no other. Of course, my number three, Avatar: Fire and Ash.
I
Um,
quit. Goodbye.
now you got to listen to me talk about it. I listen to you talk about Marty Supreme.
No, I know. Go ahead.
Issa, do you have it higher on your list or?
I do not. I didn't put it on my list, and I have a very specific reason why I did not.
Okay.
That I will get to after you explain.
And it'll be interesting to see if well, listen.
I loved it. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah, I love all the Avatar movies. I think they're all great. I think the first 3 minutes of that, because I saw it in IMAX 3D, of course, and I had a very specific weird experience that I've talked about. I talked about it actually with Mark on my top reads list. But my experience of seeing the movie was I saw it at Mission Valley in San Diego, opening Saturday night, and the theater was packed with very normal people, very normal looking people. And I stressed that because when I walked into the theater, I thought to myself, wow, this is a very normal looking crowd. As not a normie. Right. And when the movie was over, the second it ended, I wondered, I didn't, the screen went blank. And before it said directed by James Cameron, very genuine applause broke out. And it wasn't like one person clapped and then everybody else clapped. It was like, I noticed very specifically the entire theater started clapping at the same time. And I haven't been to a movie, I've been to packed movies, but I haven't been to a movie where the audience clapped in a long time. And the theater was still, people were still clapping, I opened my phone and I have a notification from Threads, weirdly enough, where I had posted that I was going to see this movie, where the exact quote from this person I didn't know was, James Cameron is a fucking hack and every overrated hack and hasn't made a good movie in decades. Like the applause hadn't even ended from the normal people. Right?
like he hasn't seen a James Cameron movie in decades.
He hasn't seen a James Cameron movie in decades.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. The 3D, the first few minutes of it, I don't know about you, the first scene, I was like, a little woozy and like,
it takes a second to get into the HDR.
It takes your brain a second
frame
to
rate
adjust.
and
Once it does, and once you get into the story, first of all, Anthony, I would argue that this is the Avatar movie you are most likely to like.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
Because
if you didn't like the first one though, then I don't know.
Okay, real quick, my whole thing. Look, I've watched 30 minutes of the middle of the first one when it first came out in the break room during Black Friday when I worked at Best Buy, and I stood there
as it was filmed to be watched.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. As I'm eating my burrito, and I was like, I hate this. It's just animated slop, and I can't focus. But the other thing too, though, is as Issa just said, it's not the right environment for it. I have a really hard time with 3D movies because I have to wear glasses over my glasses. I don't wear contacts. Yeah. So I can't actually engage with this franchise in the way that you're actually supposed to make it.
Right.
So anyway, that's my side note about why
I wear glasses over glasses. Can't you wear 3D glasses over glasses? I don't know.
I can, but it's weirdly uncomfortable, and B, it creates this extra layer that I can't. It's really hard for me to focus.
It's probably uncomfortable for the 4-hour runtime or whatever, 3.5 hours or however long
it would be. Yeah. Anyway.
So you lose out on the engrossing nature of it because there's a certain thing that happens in these Avatar movies where you're like part of the way through it and the world building and all like everything just kind of melts away. And I tell you, this movie's over 3 hours. I never looked at the time once. Not once.
Well, it paced perfectly.
Yeah, it's paced perfectly.
Never
what you would like, Anthony, in this movie is the Fire Tribe in this movie. Like, first of all, like there's an alien in this movie you would totally want to hump. Wow,
David, you do know me.
So first of all, this movie, as far as like Avatar movies go, like I am so ready to debate somebody on the writing of this movie, but they have to actually have seen it. So for me to do this, but and for people who say that there's nothing new or different in this Avatar movie as opposed to the last one, I think is
that's
wrong.
me. That's my complaint about this movie.
Well, and I will argue with you on that because the Fire Tribe in this movie and the Na'vi because beforehand we've had this kind of whole noble indigenous culture thing, and then the fact that the humans are arming the natives in this, and we have this really nasty Fire Tribe that basically live off volcanic ash, and like, I mean, I do think that's different. I do think because what he's doing with the last two movies is playing with the elements. That's something that's different. The relationship between the characters gets into something that I think is different. I can see where people would say, like, if you're on a surface level, it looks very similar to the last movie, but I think some of the themes and the things that are going on does present.
So to me, my complaint, and the reason this movie isn't on my list, even though it was fantastic and it was definitely one of the movies I enjoyed most this year, was that from a plot franchise perspective, this movie was completely interchangeable with the last movie. You could have, I mean, there's the character's death in the second movie that obviously could have been in this movie but wasn't, so that's different, obviously. But if you watch the first movie and then you watch this movie as the sequel, as say the second movie, pretending that it was the second movie, it would work perfectly in terms of moving the plot forward of the franchise. And so this is vamping on a scale that I don't think we've ever seen before. Like it's you could make 10 more movies that are about Pandora, which would all be fantastic. But I want the plot to move forward.
Well, I do think the plot moves forward in the case of Plo Koon, the whale, and and I'm sorry, I have never seen a movie with whale court and
No, that was amazing, and
with the
the
whale.
animal rights message was great. But the second movie had that too, like it was the same thing.
I,
Like
I,
it,
I, it didn't have anything like the Fire Tribe, in my opinion.
no, I agree, but that doesn't tell you what is the company doing, what is happening on Earth, what else is happening in the bigger universe. I wanted the scope to expand. I didn't just want to see a new tribe on Pandora.
Well,
Although
and that's
I
partially
loved it.
because,
I mean, keeping in mind that I loved the movie, I
yeah.
just wanted the franchise to move forward.
Well, Way of Water and Fire and Ash admittedly started as one movie, and
Right.
Cameron built it out.
You're
And
like, hey, I can't do a 7-hour movie. I got to split this up.
yeah, so admittedly, that's a thing, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it the way it was.
Yeah.
But you know what's really interesting? I watched, because Cameron had a writer's room for the Avatar movies. Once he started the sequels, he gathered a writer's room, and I saw an interview with the writer's room that was for Way of Water. And what was really interesting was what would become the fourth movie is the one that everyone universally like kept hinting at being the one that they most wanted to see.
Okay.
Which is really interesting because that would be the next one that we would get, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny because to a person, they just every once in a while in that interview, someone would drop, well, Josh's script, if we get to Josh's script, which Josh Friedman was the one who wrote the what would become the fourth Avatar. And so like everyone kept coming back to that one. So I have a feeling that we might not ever see that movie, but that might have been the one where we got something new and franchise evolving.
Oh, I think it's doing well. I think it's doing well.
Well, yes, but compared to the amount of money that it's been, and Cameron has really been out there trying to promote the idea to go against what Anthony's saying about how it feels like slop and it feels like CG. He's trying really hard to show people like how much like they put the actors through everything and then layer the animation on top.
I mean, I don't doubt it, but it's just like I feel like I'm watching cutscenes from a video game, and like for me, that's just not a film experience.
Honestly,
like
though, you can't watch. You need to see it in IMAX 3D. Like that's really just it's gonna look stupid on anything else. Like I'm sure the movie's still good on TV or something. Like if you actually watch the whole movie and not just come in halfway and watch half an hour of it randomly
30 minutes
while eating a burrito. But it's still a good story. It's still well done. It's still got a good message.
Another one of the funniest things that I saw, like the DGA screening, Guillermo del Toro interviewed Cameron about the movie, and it should be noted that del Toro is the first person that watches cuts and gives him notes. And Cameron said that del Toro gave him on Way of Water gave him like 18 pages of notes, like after the first time he watched it. So, but one of the things del Toro said at this DGA screening was, listen, I'm a pretty good filmmaker, but if somebody said, I'm going to shoot your whole family or you have to direct this movie, I would say line them up, right? And for del Toro to say that, I think is, it's a, I don't know. And plus, this is as close we're going to get to a Jack Vance Dying Earth novel, like put to screen. It's unique. No other human being could make this movie. For all those reasons, it's my number 3. But
yeah, that's it totally could have been up on my list. It could have been almost any number on my list. I really liked it. Anthony, you should find a way to watch it from the beginning, like whatever.
See if you can strap him on real tight.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it. All right.
Just watch it 2D. Watch it in 2D on TV, but get like a keep in mind. Don't tell yourself this looks stupid. Tell yourself I'm just watching this wrong.
I'm just watching
attacked
it.
by a cat? Are you okay?
My cat is attacking my arm for some reason. He's probably like, get off the call.
All right, Issa, you're number 2.
All right, number 2 is, well, I was gonna say it's the movie I'm most excited to talk about, but that's not true. I'm most excited to talk about my number 1, hence why it's number 1. But my number 2 is the one that I think the fewest people saw, and that is Good Fortune, which is
Never heard of it.
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is an angel. You must have seen the previews.
I've seen the previous. It's the Aziz Ansari movie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the it is so good, and everyone should see it. Like it sums up. It's like one of those movies that just sums up like modern life so well. And just this is in the preview, but it's Keanu Reeves plays an angel. This isn't spoilers, it's all from the preview, but Keanu Reeves plays an angel, and he's like a low-level angel, and he wants to like be he wants to be a bigger deal. And he does something, and then the head angel is like, what were you doing? And he's like, I tried to show that money wouldn't solve all his problems. And the head angel's like, well, how did it go? Turns out money pretty much solved all his problems. And it's just like, the movie is so good. Like that sums it up, but it's like, it's all that good. And you guys should immediately go watch it. Good Fortune, Keanu Reeves as an angel.
Is it funny? Is it?
It's a comedy.
Funny. It's touching. Yeah. It's commentary, social commentary. It was good on every level. Like,
yeah,
it's
I meant to see it.
It's funny. It's definitely funny, but it definitely is also just that quote just sums it up really well. It's very like it's a very good take on how stupid modern life is and stuff. So I highly recommend it. And I know it wasn't a very popular movie. Not a lot of people saw it, but everybody.
But I'm curious if people didn't want to see it because Aziz Ansari went over to do that comedy festival. So I didn't know if maybe that was like a.
I'm not sure what the timing was on that. I don't remember. I think it was after the comedy festival.
Oh,
I think
the in Saudi Arabia.
I think he was more canceled for that whole like. It's impossible to talk about without.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like he was sort of, he wasn't accused of sexual assault. He was accused of like, I don't even know what you'd call it. Like it was like a really bad date told from the point of view of one person. And I'm sure it sounded like he totally screwed up, but it also didn't sound like sexual assault, whatever. And it's impossible to talk about without sounding like I'm minimizing, which I'm not doing. But it was just like, it was a really uncomfortable story to listen to. And he sort of got canceled, but he only sort of got canceled. And this is the first movie that I know of that he made since that. But I don't know if the Saudi Arabia thing had anything to do with it. Also.
Did he direct it, or is he just in it?
He's in it. And did he direct it? I don't know.
I think he directed it. I think he at least wrote it.
He wrote it for sure. It's Seth Rogen and Keanu Reeves, and I love.
Sure, there's a bunch of cameos in it too, right? A bunch of people pop in, probably.
Yeah, for sure. It's fantastic.
I think really I'm gonna rent that this week. I'm gonna grab it from Movie Madness.
Yeah, let me know what you think.
I'm meaning to watch it. Yeah,
it's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, yeah, I want to see it. So, okay, you're number 2, Anthony.
My number 2 is The Long Walk.
Huh, interesting.
That is my number 1.
Okay, really? We'll talk about it when we get there.
All right,
okay,
so
David, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is 28 Years Later. And here's the thing. It's a deeply flawed movie we're going to fight here. It's a deeply flawed movie in the sense that the beginning and the end that set up the second movie were atrocious. And I couldn't take that. But in between the story with Spike and especially Ray Fiennes' character in it, which is a big spoiler, so skip ahead if you haven't seen it, if you don't want to have this spoiled. But Ray Fiennes' character I thought was fantastic, and the whole emotional storyline of the mother dying and the skull being put on the top and the and the just everything, like the weird meditation on death that the movie was. Like, what I appreciated about this movie was that I cannot believe a major movie release had the meditation on death at the center of it that it did, and that this whole, like, that they melted down this character's whole body to their skull and put it on top of a pile of skulls, and that was the emotional core of a movie. Come on, man, that is insane. If you explain it that way, that it got made, and it deeply resonated with me. Anthony, maybe because you're a younger person, it doesn't hit you the same way. For me, I've had a lot of, I've had, a, I mean, I listen, and I'm not going to say that you're not dealing with death. You had your uncle, all that.
I had three people die every 2 years for like 6 years.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. But
but
so
go ahead.
me,
I'll go after you.
yeah. So for me, like the whole resonance of that whole thing, like it was a powerful experience for me. That scene was the most emotionally affecting thing that happened in a movie for me this year. And the fact that it happened in a horror movie that had all these chases and had all these things. I think it's interesting that they shot the whole movie on iPhones, right?
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, they did special rigs where like they had like 10 iPhones, like, and then they made like this pattern. So it was weird. So it was like a totally different, weird, interesting thing, and how they made it, film it, which was, I guess, in line with the first 28 weeks later, days later, whatever. And but I really liked it, and it just worked for me on a level that I can't even explain.
Well, I can explain. Like, I mean, it was like, in a way, it was like made for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
when I watched it, I definitely was thinking about you, and it's two separate movies, right? I loved
Oh,
the first
Issa, you
half.
were thinking about me during the
I
movie.
was thinking about you, but the first half I loved. I thought was fantastic. The world building of like the town and the kid and his father going off on like this like rite of passage.
Oh, well,
Oh, we lost
he's
Issa.
frozen. Well, just like I was thinking about you, Issa, or Anthony, when I thought you'd want to fuck the alien and Avatar.
On brand. Stay on brand, David.
To try to treat her
Wait.
cancer.
Issa, you froze up.
Did I
So
froze? Okay. So I
rewind.
connect with the first half. I don't know how much you heard. I'm sorry. I'll repeat myself. But the first half with the town and the father and son and the coming of age ritual, I loved all that. And then I did not connect at all with the son sneaking out the mom to try to find treatment for her cancer and find the doctor and all that stuff. To me, that was like, that was completely, I just didn't connect with that at all. But I thought about you and I was like, oh man, how am I going to go on a show and be like this stupid plot about a young kid dealing with his mother with cancer to David? Like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? Um, and it just,
Well,
but it
yes,
just,
and I lost
and
my mother when I was 12, and
yeah,
so
So it hits home
yes,
for you. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
So it
it
hit home
definitely
for
hit home
me.
for you. It's, and it just, I didn't really care for the second half of the movie. There were some parts that were okay, and then it just turned into this like weird tracksuit thing, and that was just like what?
Yeah,
But
the weird tracksuit thing, I
yeah,
can't. And I'm still gonna go see the second one
yeah,
because
I'll see it
I
too.
like Nia DaCosta's Candyman, so I'm gonna give it a shot. But
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, but it was definitely like I really thought the zombie world building at the first half was so good. I really thought that was really well done. And I wish it had stayed at that level.
yeah, Anthony.
I agree with the you liking the middle part, and I think the Bone Temple stuff is the most interesting thing. I'm a sucker for weird shit, so I like the weird tracksuit cult. Shocking nobody. But even though it's so fucking random at the end, and I actually, when I saw this, I didn't realize that there was supposed to be another one coming very soon. So I was like, what a weird way to end this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I was surprised that there was that was
I don't like the progression of the virus. I don't like these like alpha zombies versus like that shit to me is just like it's as goofy and corny to me as the evolved zombies in that terrible Land of the Dead movie. Like it just didn't do anything for me. And there are some sequences that I thought could have been really great.
I didn't like the alpha thing either, but like the Bone Temple stuff, like
and I like the Bone Temple stuff. But like there's that scene where they're running back to the town to get there before the tide comes in, and the music is so off, and it's set to an Aurora Borealis, and like there's supposed to be this like tense chase sequence, but they're playing like fucking Lord of the Rings music. It really ripped me out. Like the way Marty Supreme ripped Issa out, that scene ripped me out of the movie with the music they chose for that scene. And I just didn't care a whole hell of a lot about what was going on in this movie. You know, the trailer for this movie was incredible. But yeah, it didn't resonate with me. However, my number one resonated with me very much so in other ways, which is why it's my number one. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the Bone Temple.
Okay.
Sorry, that's the new one coming out. My bad.
Issa,
So I'm frankly surprised that you guys don't have this as the same number one. Wait, Anthony, I don't know your number one yet, but this movie was by far the absolute best movie of the year. Audiences cheer, movie ends, audience cheers. I go back, take my whole family with me to see the movie, and the movie is Superman. It was freaking perfect. Like it was just.
I haven't seen it yet. That's on my list for this week.
How did you miss
I meant
Superman?
to put it on my honorable mentions. And I forgot.
Okay. I loved it. It was perfect tone, perfect. It was hilarious. It was like the recovery of like all the Superman mistakes of the past few years, and it just it was just perfect. My whole family liked it. Like my family,
Superman annoys the crap out of me. I just have to admit that
usually David, he's a really annoying character.
I'm not a Superman fan, but this is a good movie.
It's a great movie. I mean, like David, you got to see it. I mean, like
it was on my list for this week. I thought I was going to see it by the time we did this, but I just
I chose
to watch Tron Ares instead.
There was so much fantastic stuff in it, just from enjoying watching a movie thing, like just for the fans. The Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern stuff was amazing. There's a Mr. Terrific was great. There's just
I didn't know that Superman has like a cameo in one of the Peacemaker episodes or something.
Whoa, don't spoil that for me.
I haven't watched that yet. I haven't seen season 2.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but here's what happened.
Great.
I was staying in a shitty motel in Oakland. It's a long story.
Okay.
And I was flipping around, and then there's David Cornsweet as Superman. And then I'm looking at it like, this doesn't even look like a fucking movie. This looks terrible. Like the quality of this is just shit. Like, and then I was like, whatever this is, I thought it was the movie at first, and then I just flipped away because I didn't want to get spoiled on anything. And then my only theory is that it was Peacemaker. I could be wrong, but or maybe
you're probably right. You're probably right, but
But man, great movie.
Long story why I was in that
great
motel.
Fun time at the theater, like, and the punk song, the Mighty Crabjoys, the fake band from the movie, it was very good. Everything about it great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I meant to put on my honorable mentions, and I just forgot. I really enjoyed it. It has one of my favorite moments in any movie of 2025 too, where he crashes through the window of Lex Tower, and he's like, "Where's the dog?" Like, I was like, "This movie's so I get it."
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is great. Mr. Terrific is great. It's a really solid movie. And yeah, David, you should watch it. And I'm excited for Supergirl because I'm finally getting an on-screen Lobo. So.
Yeah, that should be good too. So I'm excited for the new DC universe. Like they're not going to screw it up, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
And your champion, Anthony.
So my My number one movie of this year is Friendship. I don't know if either of you saw it. It's starring Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave in The Chair Company. It's a very weird comedy about a guy who has no idea how to connect with people and tries so desperately to do so and ends up fucking up every time. And it just gets progressively weirder and stranger. And it's such a, for all the weird shit that happens, it's such a somber movie about just not being able to connect with other people. Um,
Is that like
and
the
look,
family moves in down the street and the guy goes over and introduces himself or whatever? Or
yeah,
is that
yeah. Tim
okay?
Robinson, Paul Rudd moves
I
in
saw
down
the
the
previews.
street.
I
Yeah.
never saw the movie.
Yeah, I loved it. I've watched it twice now. Again, I'm such a sucker for these little like what feel like indie black comedies where they're super bleak and but they're also really funny. But there's like a core like at the heart. If you've ever saw Colossal with Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis, it's kind of feels the same a little bit in tone. Or the Skeleton Twins with Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader, which is another favorite of mine. Yeah, I it really resonated with me, and I watched it at a time in my life this year where I really needed to laugh and just kind of connect on a different level with this particular movie, and so that's my number one.
All right, so my number one is The Long Walk, as I already spoiled, but so for me, The Long Walk, here's the thing. It's one of my favorite Stephen King novels. I know it's a Bachman novel, but I think it's one of his best novels. I had a very high bar for this for two reasons. One, Frank Darabont was supposed to make it in the late 90s as a movie, but couldn't get it off the ground. And I always thought Frank Darabont would make a great Long Walk. Second, I really love the book, so like wanted to see something great. And I actually think it's a rare case where a truly excellent book was improved by the movie, which is rare. The performances are incredible. The direction is incredible. The timing is incredible. It is a movie that I watched at home, and I already know the story, and I was incredibly tense every moment it was on. I felt incredible tension. There were a couple. Now, I remember at the time when I watched it, Anthony, you and I talked about one or two little ways that we thought the suspense could have been a little better. It could have been done a little better here and there, but a dystopia of that quality. Mark Hamill is terrifying in it. The relationships in it are really effective.
Did I just not realize that was Mark Hamill this whole time?
It was, yeah.
Well, you're like
I
the people.
totally didn't notice.
He just did a bit on Jimmy Kimmel where he stood by his Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, nobody recognized
in a Mark
him.
Hamill shirt.
Yeah, well, he's pretty unrecognizable in this movie.
Yeah, I totally did not realize that was Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
he's awesome in it. He's so good. That whole cast is great.
Yeah, and
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's not like I just kept thinking when I was making my list, this movie is so fucking solid. It's so well done. It has to be number one because in some ways, I was more moved by 28 years later. I was more like, there are movies that maybe you could argue that Eddington's a better movie, but the runtime would count against that for me. But and maybe the best scene of a movie all year was the fireworks scene in Eddington. But the Long Walk just was just so well calibrated on so many levels between performance, between everything that happened. It's just it was great. Now, I think I remember the thing that I complained about was that there were a couple times where some of the deaths happened a little quicker. Like the guy, like you could have had the dude who broke his ankle, like struggling with it for longer in the movie, and you could have built more suspense out of that, but those are tiny little quibbles.
Yeah.
I just think it's an incredibly well made movie, and for me, that's why it's number one. I don't know.
It's a
Anybody
great
else?
movie. My favorite scene in it is like when I knew it was like the movie for me. I mean, like there's so many good scenes in it, but the one that like really got me was when they're going uphill at night and everybody just starts failing because they're walking uphill, and so they're just killing them off one by. I was like, this is so masterfully fucking shot. This is so well done. This is so tense. This is so intense. And I felt every moment, every step of the long walk on screen, I felt in my seat. I loved it.
Yeah.
So I did like it, but there was something about it that just prevented me from really
You
enjoying
ain't a
it.
grim fucker like us. Like,
Well,
that's
no, those aspects of it, I just didn't believe it. Like it was just like
come on,
the
you're
Hunger
Issa
Games.
good, clean fun, dude. You are posy
Well,
to the core.
no, but like the Hunger
You say
Games.
Posicore?
He is posy core. He's famous for this, sir.
I am. It's true. Yes, that is true. Very positive. But the Hunger Games, for example, there's enough backstory that you believe that some crazy shit like that could happen. I just wasn't sold that the long walk was the thing that could happen. And that's such a fundamental thing to the movie, obviously. And I never,
Well,
I
that's
never
because
really,
you're so far removed from the time that it was written, because Stephen King is a college student during the draft of Vietnam writing this.
okay, fair enough. But
Because this, I mean, The Long Walk is about the draft. I mean, that's what it's about.
okay,
And
that's an interesting way to think about it. I certainly hadn't thought about it that way.
well, that's entirely what it is. And so the thing is that if you think about it being written during that time and being written during the draft, that's entirely what it is. So like, so I not to totally crush your argument against this movie, but I think I just did, because
No, it's still
that's
stupid. It's still like, why would you have a long walk where they just shoot everybody?
Why would you force teenagers to go
Well,
to Vietnam?
let's look at it. Well, I mean, let's look at it from this perspective.
Because there are political objectives to winning the war, whether they're the dumbest thing ever or not is another discussion. But why would you kill all these kids like in such a way?
Because you can't feed them anyways in this future dystopia, and so you're coming up with
well, they didn't show that in the movie at all. Like that was never there was never like a we need to thin the population and here's how we're doing it kind of thing,
I find it very believable in the sense that all of what David is saying is accurate. It is absolutely a metaphor for the draft, and like, but more so, like Issa, going back to what you're saying, like we're not thinking about the aspect that people are watching it as it's happening.
No, I'm thinking about that.
And people watch
that was
stupid shit. Yeah, people watch stupid shit for entertainment. So I totally buy that they're like, hey, we're going to do this thing where you all can walk and the winner gets this shit and they don't have to live in poverty anymore. Like, for me, it totally works on that level.
Well, there was I can't remember what short story. There's some science fiction short story. There might be multiple ones with the same plot, but where it's like some, like, everyone, a bunch of people kill each other and the survivor gets whatever they want for the rest of their life or whatever. I can't remember.
I think you're thinking of 10th Victim by Sheckley.
I don't remember. That doesn't sound familiar, but I don't. There was some. I'll have to look it up and try to find it. I should have done this in advance, but there's some thing where like it was like a war scenario where like there were 100 people, 100 Americans and 100 Russians or whatever it was that fight each other in this simulated war, and anyone who survives gets whatever they want for the rest of their lives. Like people follow them around and buy whatever they want or whatever. And it was very similar to that, but it was like in that story, you're like fighting for your country. In Hunger Games, you're like fighting for your district. All those things work for me on a logical, like I could see how that would happen. I don't get the long walk, and that just stopped me from truly enjoying the movie, even though I enjoyed the rest of it as a movie. It was just really hard for me to believe that this was like a real thing that would ever happen.
Well, and it should be noted that if I really wanted to cheat, I could have cheated. 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 I could have my number one movie of the year would have been episodes 7 through 9 of Andor. To be honest with you, which I really feel like all those arcs on Andor are just movies.
Right.
Because they're kind of written to be movies, right? And I could have done that, but much like those episodes of Andor, like, you know, this feels like a response to what's happening in the world, and yet, you know, King wrote it when he was in college, right? So
Right.
like, you know, I mean, uh, you know, it's a weird thing too, because also it was such a really good adaptation of the Bachman stuff, and then you have the Running Man, which is kind of a milk toast,
Yeah.
you know, adaptation of similar novel at the same time, and you know, it is what it is. But like,
This was a year for Stephen King. I mean, that's a
It
lot of
really
movies.
was. It really
yeah,
was.
he
Yeah.
had my two of my biggest disappointments and two of my biggest films. But yeah, well, okay, so that's our list for 2025. So
Sweet.
is there anything in 2026 you're really looking forward to? um
I
There
have
are
no
actually
idea what's coming out.
there are a lot of movies that look really good, and I'm curious to see. Like, I can't tell if it's like if it's there's like a lot of little science fiction movies that are coming out really soon that look like they could be good, but will probably be terrible. There's the Chris Pratt Mercy movie where there's like an AI justice system, and he gets caught up in it. And there's the Ryan Gosling Hail Mary project, or Project Hail Mary, or whatever it's called.
which is a fantastic book, fantastic
Okay,
novel.
so those are two that are coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary, I'm a huge fan of the novel, and it looks faithful, so
Nice.
so I'm looking forward to that one quite a bit.
Yeah. So there's some good stuff coming out. I
I'm
forget what
interested
else.
to see if Mandalorian and Grogu can actually like work as a movie.
It
Uh,
looks like it's not going to work.
yeah,
Like, that preview does not look good to me, but we'll see. You never know. I don't love the Mandalorian the way everyone else seems to, so
yeah. Well,
it's just such a weird title and way to go with it that I'm really
yeah. It seems like they should have done Starfighter first.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think Project Hail Mary is definitely one of the ones that I'm looking forward to, and then
And of
uh
course Avengers Doomsday comes out, which is going to be like pretty epic, I would imagine. Marvel tries to regain
their footing. Well, and
characters.
I'm
So
really
we'll
looking
see how that
forward
works.
to the Josh Mallerman adaptation of Instance Around the House, which they have retitled Other Mommy. I'm interested to see
Huh.
if they can pull off that experiment, starring Jessica Chastain. Um, and it's such an experimental attempt at a narrative that to try and I don't know how you do it in film, because you taking it out of prose, the whole thing of it being written in a child by a child, like in a child's voice, it takes away some of the power of it. So it'll be interesting to see if that works. So Anthony has no idea what the fuck's coming out,
I have
right?
no fucking idea what's coming out right now. I've been so busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Supergirl.
there's
so
super.
yeah, Supergirl. Supergirl I'm looking forward to. I'm telling you, the role Jason Momoa was born for, Lobo. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
it is perfect casting.
It really is.
You know, one movie that was not on anybody's list, but shout out to the tweeter Langhorn J Tweed, somehow just uh, was trying to convince me that Anaconda was a movie to see.
I saw Anaconda 2 days ago. It is. I had friends who saw it who said it was good. It is definitely the most forgettable movie you've seen in a long time. Like, it's cute. It's just you're ready for it to be over pretty much right away. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's
didn't.
fine. It's like
I liked no Anaconda movie to begin with.
very
So,
middle of the road.
all right. So on that note, folks, uh, Issa, you don't want people to find you.
I'm on a boat. I could be anywhere. If you're on the water. Right now I'm in Florida. We'll see.
What
where I
happened to
am
the
next.
California plan? There's no. Do you still have that land?
Yes, we have. We bought some land in California, but there's nothing on it, and we're waiting for permits, so we can't build.
So you might as well do boats until then.
Exactly. So boating it up a little, taking the family boating. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, and Anthony, you'll be back in San Diego soon. So
yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Lurk the Void, and I'm thinking I'm being pressured by other writers that I have to start a TikTok to be more engaged. So I guess I'll be on TikTok soon.
No.
And I occasionally post on Facebook. You can add me if you want, Anthony Trevino. But I don't have a whole lot of profound things to say on there. I'm on Threads too. And I have a new short story out. It's in the latest issue of Forbidden Futures magazine called The Dream Sieve. I'm very proud of it. So yeah, if you're interested, check that out. It's in the latest issue of Forbidden Futures.
Sweet. Yeah. What am I currently? Stories from the Motel Sick. I have a story called The Wormholer in Room.
That's right. I do.
Yeah. It's Barton Fink with time travel. This is the way I kind of pitched it.
It's my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, and of course, my most recent novel, Great American Dead World, is still out there. And I'm really proud of the fact that we've got blurbs from Ray Naylor, James Wright, Cody Goodfellow, so check it out, Great American Dead World. And I will have an announcement coming soon about the sequel to The Last Night to Kill Nazis, very soon. So, but I am about to turn that book in literally this afternoon. So, yeah, on that note, folks, we'll see you next time with some previews of the short story content for this year. And then next after that will be Science Fiction Hall of Fame. And beyond that, I'm not sure what I've got cooking. This year will be a little bit slower until I get done with the PKD festival. But we'll have a lot of stuff in there. And plus, one thing you should know is every Tuesday night at we're doing it tonight, 6:00. We do a live Dickheads episode, Philip K. Dick related, and then we just chat. We have no guests tonight. We're just talking and chatting. So if you want to hang out with a bunch of fucking nerds, that's the place to do it. So on that note, folks, we'll see you next time. Any last things you guys want to say about movies in 2025?
It was a weird year.
It was a weird year.
Yeah, weird year. All right. On that note, we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for joining us. If you made it this far, you're a fucking nerd.
Guys, when are we gonna do Alien Earth?
Oh yeah, we should do that. You want to do Alien Earth? Did you hear James Cameron said that he liked Alien Earth, actually?
Oh, nice. That's
promising. It didn't make headlines. Did you guys notice that he said that he hated the
Alien 3?
I saw that. In Alien 3, and that made headlines. But the fact that he said positive stuff about Romulus and Alien Earth and no headlines.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Well, nobody cares if you like something. They want you to hate it. Hate gets more
way better clicky.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys want to do Alien Earth, I'll have to rewatch it. But
what do you mean? We talked about doing it, dude. We had a whole conversation about it.
Since we're off, we're done, right?
Yeah, we're done.
I will stop this.